Welcome back, you guys. I've got another preform. Bring it over here. Preform of some coral, and it's got some nice polyps in there actually on this piece. But we're going to be working this into hopefully a clay point, and it's already pretty translucent, as you can tell. And I started on it last night. I wasn't filming, but as you can see, we already got some prominent flake scars on a couple of the faces, but we need to make sure all of the faces have some good flake scars. The base is already thinned out pretty good. So with that, let's get started here. So what I'm going to be doing is a mix of shaping and trying to get good flake scars. Kind of a mix of both. And kind of like last video, I'm not going to take my time and explain away every last hit I do. I get out of the field kind of quick when I do that. So, or in other words, I kind of lose my rhythm. So I might be a little bit quieter this video. I don't know, but we'll see what happens here. I know that since it's a bit chillier, my hands are probably gonna sting a little bit on certain hits. Hopefully they won't sting too terribly bad, but there's no real guarantees. Need one more good hit here. Not great, but we're gonna make it work. I'll show you that one. Or is this one? We'll catch that slight little hinge later on with this one here. Whereas with clay points, you have to draw them in an interesting way, because the blade edge is not going to be straight. It's going to end up being a little curved. At least the way I like to make my clay points. I hope y'all are having a good holiday season. Hopefully you're spending time with your family. I spent a little time with mine. And even when life gets busy, it's important to spend a little time with the family. Kind of misstruck there. Now this material works a lot better than the one I was using in my last video, which was raw coastal, raw Flint River. Now raw Flint River is nice, don't get me wrong, but there are definitely levels to it, and heated coral just works so fantastically well when it's heated correctly. And this is heated great. Now, heated Flint River is also quite nice too, but you have to find a little bit of a balance. If you do heat your Flint River, you lose a lot of the integrity of the rock, I would say, personally, even more so than coral, although that is kind of an opinionated, subjective point of view. Or, in other words, that's kind of my feelings about it. But other people might not completely agree. Either way, we got some good coral we're working here. Trying to make a clay point. Again, keyword trying to. Now we are gonna have to curve this in a little bit. So instead of it being, see how this is kind of round? It needs to be the opposite way, like you're on kind of flare out towards the base. Kind of what I'm thinking. It's how I've made some of these in the past. Okay. Bear with me here as I try to locate my pressure pad. There it is. Oh, probably be a good time to put my glasses on too. I forgot that. Forgot to put those on. Let's do that. And this is just a good place to isolate. I probably won't isolate as much as I have in other videos, but this one I don't mind isolating at all. I think it will certainly help this flake in particular. Let's go with that. Pete. There we are. Buddy. Now it's starting to get a little bit nitpicky here. And taking our time, setting up certain platforms. And starting to get a little kick and curve here. So let's try to do that with the other side too. Lowered a few of these key areas. I think I'll also resort to isolating a little bit. Via bopper. And that worked out good. All right, do a little bit over on this side. And I know I've been saying that I'm gonna do a video, and I will, on abrading. Because I abrade in a very particular way. In fact, if I didn't have my abrader, I would not be half the napper I am today. So just throwing that out there. I'll need to do a video on that eventually, when the time comes. I think that's a Harry Potter quote there. When the time comes. Couldn't tell you who said it, but sounds like a Harry Potter quote. And if my hat gets in the way of this video, hopefully it's not too much in the way, but I apologize. I got a jacket on and I can't really turn my hat backwards in this video, so you'll just have to take what you can get. I'd rather be warm, or let me put it this way: comfortable and make a nice point than uncomfortable and possibly make some tough mishaps as I front mount. So if you miss a strike or two, I apologize. Or 10, I don't know. Hopefully you don't miss too many. Like I said, this channel it's for you guys. I mean, I'm gonna be napping anyways. I've said this before. I'm trying to get my buddy Lewis to start filming as well, because I enjoy listening to him talk. He's very knowledgeable, but you know, I've gotten a napper always learns stuff. I'll start with that. You know, there's never a point where you just stop learning. I mean, you get to a point where you know a ton, but you never stop learning. And I think YouTube has helped me in that. Y'all can call out certain platforms and certain like that strategies that I have and say, hey, this might be better, or this might be better, and it helps me. You challenge me with different challenges or whatever. Some of you might remember the blindfold challenge I did. That was fun, but not very many people watched it, but I had a blast. But I mean, I'm already napping, so I might as well film. And I don't claim to be the best napper, but I do recognize I have some skills that I can share across the board, whether direct percussion, indirect. I don't use a lot of indirect these days. But if I can help you in any way, that's kind of why I'm here. I want to be able to help you guys out, and in turn, you guys help me out. So like I said, I'm already going to be napping, so might as well turn the camera on. Right? Right. Need to bring this edge in a little bit more. Braid that a bit more. But yeah, abrading is key in making points like I'm making them here, or the way I'm making them. It's crucial, really. One thing I struggled with starting out was which way do I braid? Up, down, sideways? Well, let me try all of them and see what works. Well, there are times where you need to braid straight up and down, straight side to side, diagonally, and weird obtuse angles. And it all depends on what you're shooting for. And by the way, who this point is for is, because I'm making this point for someone, is, I believe you pronounce it Lorenz from Germany. I met him on a live stream, on one of my live streams a few weeks back. And he said he wanted a few points. So these are for you, buddy. So I made him a Turk corner notch in the last video. Go with a clay point, and then my third point, which is going to be also out of some different material, all three different materials, will be probably a little bit more colorful. But I don't know what I want to choose yet. Maybe some coastal of some kind. Tallahassee would be cool and unique, but I want to give him something colorful. He said he liked the whitish coral, like this stuff. Porcelain looking stuff. Yeah, I like this stuff too. Helps when it's translucent like this one is as well. Just makes it stand out. You know what? Almost done with percussion. Now, I know I say that often, and I never really am close to being done, but I think I am close to done. Being done on this one in particular. Coral takes direct percussion, you know, very well, but it also takes pressure very well. So if I can get away with it, I'll use some pressure flaking on it. Kind of jip myself a little bit here. Oh yeah, we fixed it. I think because of the angle, we might as well just keep what we're at. Keep with what we're at here. That's why giving yourself a little bit of breathing room on the tip definitely helps if you're able. In case you want to switch. or in case your symmetry's off, you can switch it fairly easily and not have to worry so awful bad. I think we're sitting pretty there. Just got to do some pressure work. See right through the thing. It's light as a feather. So, part of me wants to do the base first, but because my symmetry is a bit odd along the blade edge, I want to go ahead and fix that before I start hypothesizing where the base wants to go or needs to go. I'm going to go ahead and get my symmetry close to where I need it to be, in other words. Alright, now this one I'll take my hat off, I don't mind. I don't think this will zoom in, will it? No, probably not. Might can scoot up a little tad bit. When you're flaking like this, you especially need some glasses. That one hit me in my forehead. Now some of these I press in, some I just feather in. Depends on the angle of the platform. And that one was low enough and there was enough convexity, so I was like, well, might as well. Same thing there. Let's do the other side. Hey, buddy. Saying hello. Hey, buddy. Now I can abrade the symmetry I'm looking for. So I might abrade a little heavier on one side than the other, but that's for symmetry's sake. symmetry's still a bit off. But symmetry will be fixed in time. It's not something I'm worried about right this second. I will say though, clay points, in my opinion, out of the points that I've worked, is easily the hardest to get symmetrical by a landslide. Even harder than Kirk's and Lost Slaves. I mean, just substantially, in my opinion. I'll explain why in a little bit. Uh-oh. It didn't take. That one took. The platform there is kind of under the actual edge. Probably should have abraded that before I started. There we are. And again, if you press in, you got to make sure that you don't press in right beside it too. Because let's say if I press in here and I press in here, the flake scars won't match and they'll run into each other. Like this one, it widens out. I doubt you can see it, but you have to space them out. I'm sure you've heard that language before. Spacing out your flakes. You don't want to just make them run into each other, cause a mess, cause some hinges. You need to let them breathe. Let your flakes breathe. All right. All right. Symmetry's off. So I'm gonna do an extra pass on this face. Let me see exactly where it's off. About right here and down. Now they're about right there, I want to say. It honestly needs maybe another. Maybe even do another one. Need this thing to be perfect, or close to it. Pressing a little more down than in. These flakes. That one I pressed in. much better. Yeah, it looks a lot better. Okay, cool. Now we still have final pressure work to do as we go along the edge, but I feel a little more confident in working the notches now, because I know a little more information. Because coral is an easier stone to work. Pete, put that. I'm not too worried about messing up on the notches. Let me go ahead and flatten out the base. And I'll fool with the rest of that later. Okay. I'll come in right about there. Okay, keep going in. Oh, Pete found him a stick. Go in. good, pretty good. And with a clay point, you pretty much come, not necessarily from the corner, but you come from, I don't know, well, you saw where I entered in. And you kind of drag it across the piece rather than go straight forward. To start. That's how I like to do it, at least. I think it looks the best that way. Give yourself a wide enough area to press down in. That wasn't super successful. I think I need to sharpen my tip a little bit. For sure. So let me do that. Try that. Take my little file to abrade very slightly. And again, not really pushing in as much as I am pulling down. And by pulling down, you see that it catches it higher up. And when you push in, it'll thin out a lot of area, but when you pull down, it creates a nice bulb. Little bulb of percussion. And we're starting to get to a point where we can turn upwards. Starting to. Keyword there. Again, gonna go kind of high up there. I'm not pushing in, I'm pushing more down. Releases that kind of flake there. Beep. while you're looking over here, Pete. I'm not in my car honking. All right, now we're gonna expand that notch. But first, let's go over to this other side. Try to emulate what we've got on this side. Keyword, try to. Now, in the beginning, you can shoot some long, thin flakes that will hinge out to, well, however the stone will let you, however far the stone will let you go. So you can definitely do that. I may do it. Nah, I won't do it here. I did kind of a mix on that one. Just kind of getting this edge out of my way there. That's all I'm doing. This here. Again, pressing more down than anything. And we're going in. So making kind of an angle with this back edge. And just kind of lightly abrade that. Press down. Give myself a little more room. I'll braid a little bit. And I could afford to press in a little bit, so I did. That one went almost. See how far that flake went? Give ourselves a little room. Kind of slightly abrade that area there. And here I don't want to press in. I'm going to press down. I feel like that's a safer bet. Yeah, definitely a safer bet. All right, and press down here as well. And more so pulling it. Now we did get a little incipient crack there, so I had to be careful. Had to be very careful. Oh, I think we're able to undercut it there. That's good news. And notice this is quite a long, way to go into the point, but we're gonna have to do some cleanup work, and the notch won't look as long once we do all the cleanup stuff. Again, I'm gonna put this high up there and pull down. Uh-oh, he sees somebody again. Who could it be? Who could it be? All right, I'm gonna pull down again. Leave about matched to our other side. So I'm gonna check this thing out for a minute. And I'll see what we need to do. Because we're a little lopsided on the base. Gotta fix our lopsidedness. Hey buddy, stay. We're going to fix that lopsidedness rather quickly. Yeah, we're gonna have to do some surgery here. Okay, let's go with this. Your bud fell out. Now that's looking pretty solid right there. Looking good. Got one more side, then I'm gonna clean up the base and be done. So I got one last side to do. That's this one. Again, spacing out these flakes, and then I'll come back through with tiny pressure on each one of these little deltas that's left. When I get closer to the tip, I push a little harder in. Go back and do some tiny edge work. And pretty much just pulling down. We've already got the convexity, we already got some of the lines that we need. Ridges, I should say. And I'm not even looking at the bottom side. I did that on the last pass, so I already know what's under here. Make sure our tip is good. Make sure it's thinned out and that scares me every time. Maybe because I'm so focused, Pete throws me off guard a little bit. That's gotta be it. Not scared of a lot of things, but Pete doing that gets to me sometimes. Now we aren't done with the base. We got a little bit we need to do. But our symmetry is looking a lot better. Get it lined up. come back through on the base, work on it a bit. Hey, buddy. Just because you hear the pressure flaker out doesn't mean it's time to be done. Almost time to be done. Alright, now we'll focus on these ears real quick. Won't have our humongous ears on this piece, but I don't think we need them. I think that'll do it, guys. Braid this back edge and we'll go inside, Mr. Pete. There we are. Pretty nice, pretty nice. And let's get it back. I don't know if this will go low enough. Here, let's do this. That'd be better. Get the angle right. There we go. I think that's pretty neat right there. Anyways, nice little coral clay. Hope y'all enjoyed.